Well, welcome to Balancing Act. This is Sam McEwen. I'm here with Linda Wilson. We're coming to you from two opposite sides of the country, but welcome to Balancing Act, balancing life, money, life, and time with us. And Linda, I heard you got a call from Publishers Clearinghouse. Was it Ed McMahon?
Oh, from the grave? No. A gentleman that sounds like he's from Nigeria called and said that I have some Publishers Clearinghouse winnings, and I'm supposed to call him back with a U.S. phone number. But I thought that was kind of odd. I have no magazine subscriptions. Didn't fill out a form online, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I won, but I called my roommate and I said, if they show up, you're me.
Yeah. I always told my friends, if Ed McMahon shows up to the door, you're me.
That's right. You know, to grab the check, shut the door, and run to the bank.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Ed McMahon died in 2009. I don't know when they stopped running the commercials, but that was always a running joke with him on the Carson show and things like that. But the reason people fall for stuff like that is they always think there's a way to get rich quick.
Yeah, without having to do anything.
There really isn't, right? And we titled this "Don't Bet on It." Don't bet on the fact that Ed McMahon's going to. Well, if Ed McMahon comes and knocks on your door, I don't know where you're at, right? So
the money's not going to help you.
Right. Not wherever he's at right now. But folks look at things differently when it comes to their money, and we've both been in business and we've been through network marketing and multi-level marketing and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with a network marketing group or multi-level marketing group, don't you think?
There's nothing wrong with them. Unless you join expecting things to happen without your involvement. It's like anything else, you got to work it. And I've been in several and I was not successful because I didn't do what I needed to do to be successful at it. There was nothing wrong with the products. There was nothing wrong with the training. There was nothing wrong with any of that. I just thought, a lot of times they make it sound really easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy, but it's not easy. It's easy if you work it and you follow the system they give you.
Right.
But the thing is you actually have to do something.
You do.
You don't sign on as an affiliate or a member of a network marketing arena, sit back and the money flows in. It doesn't happen that way.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't matter how good the products are. It doesn't matter how good the service are.
You've got to do your bit.
Yep, absolutely. And you got to sell.
You got to sell.
And that's what a lot of, I have a lot of friends who have been semi-successful. I have a couple who have been very successful. And the ones who've been very successful, they understood that if they brought somebody on that they thought was going to be successful, they were very upfront. I remember my wife and I do some things, and we have a very good friend that brought us into this one company that we still buy products from. But she was upfront with it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons she wanted us to be involved was Rita can sell dental services from her chair very, very well. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady was a patient, and I don't have permission to use her name. So, but then she knew what I did, and I was successful in the sales for her. So she thought, boom, this is going to be perfect. Well, it would have been if we really wanted to work it, but we both had full-time jobs, and she was very upfront. You're going to have to put in 10, 20 hours a week minimum just to
get started, just to get
started. Right.
And it's not going to be like 2 months and suddenly you're rolling in the bucks.
No.
It takes a good year to 3 years, depending on the structure.
Yep. And just like any other business.
And just like any other business. And when you go into it, just like any other business, open your ears and open your eyes and actually listen to what they're talking to you about.
Right.
Don't think you can go in and not do anything, or that your upline is going to do it all for you. They're going to help
Right.
you get started, but you got to do the work.
You got to do the work. I know I know of a story, and this is one thing too. When people say, "Well, I've only been doing this for 6 months, and this I'm super double diamond, blue sapphire, or whatever," right? And so do some investigation. I was in a meeting one time, and I only went there because of the guy that was speaking, um, and you may remember his name. I can't remember his name, but he was a walk on for the Denver Broncos. Um, All Pro. I can't even remember what position he played. He was a great guy. Signed up. His biggest contract was $30 million, and when he was speaking, he still had the $30 million. He
Yeah.
lived on other stuff, but they introduced this guy who said, "Yeah, he has only been involved for 45 days." Okay, wait a minute. I recognize this guy's name,
Hmm.
so I looked him up, and at that point in time, Google wasn't as
Right.
prevalent, right?
Yeah.
And so, come to find out, he had been with another company,
Hmm.
and when he saw this opportunity, he brought his whole
Yeah.
organization over with him.
Yeah. And
Well,
so they come in at
yeah,
an upper level.
yeah, and so like you said, people have to listen, and they have to hear what's being said. They
Mhm.
have to see what's going on around them and be aware. And if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And if you're looking at, don't let us discourage you. If you're willing to work a multi-level marketing product, my recommendation is to find a product that you love and you're going to
Mhm.
use. Make sure there's a good upline, a good support system,
Mhm.
training, and a company that supports you and will allow you to run your business without um, doing things that will undermine your business. But what do you think
Right.
some of the other things are people think they're going to get rich quick at?
Oh my gosh, the lottery.
The lottery, yes.
And there's nothing wrong with buying the lotto tickets. It's kind
Nope.
of funny because my husband would play the lottery occasionally, but he'd wait until it was those massive,
Right.
you know, and he's been gone a while, so we hadn't hit the billion mark yet. But he'd wait till it was like 800 million mega, the mega millions. And I said, the chances of you getting the only winning number when it's this big, everybody and their mother's running it. I said, the time, if you're going to play, the time is when it first turns over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're going to say no to $1 million.
Right. 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 Right.
Even if you take the cash and you only get about 600,000,
Yeah.
who's going to say no to that?
Nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know people that they don't just buy the tickets, but they literally think that that's going to get them out of debt.
Yep.
They're making that their retirement plan, their put food in the refrigerator plan.
Yep.
And
Yeah. Yeah. You
life
can't
doesn't work
bank on
that
it.
way. No, you can't.
That's
Yeah, you can't bet on it at all.
if you're gonna buy lottery tickets, first off, it needs to be in your money. It needs to be under miscellaneous, blow money, or money
Yeah.
I'm throwing away.
Yeah.
Because and I've seen people. I've worked in places that sold lottery tickets, and I've seen people come in buy $50-$100 worth of scratch off tickets, thinking
Mhm.
they're going to, and they'll sit there and they'll scratch all of them off, and they just spend $100 and they win 5, and so it just it really doesn't pay. And I have people who say, well, you'll see it down here in Florida. There's a casino here close to Tampa, and people will come on and say, I won this much, yada 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 for and I'm sitting there thinking, so I'm a compulsive gambler. Now I've been clean for going on 30 years. No, it doesn't work that way, right? And if you won $800,000, how much did you spend to get the 800,000? That 800,000 is what this one lady said.
Yeah.
And then how much of that 800,000 did you put back in looking for $1 million?
Right.
And that's what the house always wins.
The house always wins. And what people don't understand is when you have those big winnings, they're not super happy if you cash out and walk out the door.
No. Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, no. They need their opportunity to get it back. And
that's right. That and the government is standing right there.
oh, yeah.
You pay taxes on that, just like that. You cash it out, you pay taxes on it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's kind of funny. So, and the scratch off tickets, lotto numbers, and stuff like that. I don't have a problem if people, if they want to play that, but you have to account for that money. That can't come out of your bread money. It can't come out of your car payment, your house payment. It has to be budgeted as blow money, or as, say what it is. It's lottery money or whatever.
But it is not a retirement plan.
No, it can't be a subcategory to retirement. Not at all.
It's not a mortgage payment.
No. And when you talk about something like that, you talk, a lot of people play the market. Well, I can't remember what the percentage of it is of stockbrokers and people like that actually do better than the average person. It's very, very small percentage. Yeah. And I know that I'm not I did great when we were using play money in college, and I had to, I got an A in the class because the stocks that I picked went right through the roof, right?
But you didn't have to actually invest in them.
I had nothing invested. No.
Right.
And I got lucky. And people think that they're gonna beat the market, and there again, if you're using money that you've budgeted that's not part of your normal debt and your retirement, this is just extra money, I guess. I would rather see you do something better with it, but
right.
You have to know that
decide to play with. That's one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but you also have to understand that if it's $100, that $100 is gone. You have to be able to look at that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the biggest thing lately, though, is this online stuff, Linda. The betting on sports and yeah.
The fantasy sports. I think it's funny because for one thing, I never understood how it worked. Why would you? I mean, how do you even bet on a team that's not a real team? You're grabbing players from all over. Right. The concept doesn't compute for me, but I'm not that invested in it. But again, if you can do it within reason and it's money you budgeted for that and you do it for fun, you're not doing it because you think that's going to be your retirement or buy your house with it, because you just don't get that much back.
No.
You have to declare your winnings. You have to declare your
winnings. If you're doing it online, they know right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. There's one outfit that bet $5, get $200, and it sounds like if you bet the $5, you're going to get $200. Now I don't know if there's a catch to it. There's always a catch, right? And once again, the house always wins. So, but yeah, a fantasy team. I had a good friend of mine. He plays fantasy football, but he doesn't have any money on it. He's just in a group, and I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what he gets if he wins or whatever. But he had the Eagles running back, Philadelphia Eagles running back, on his fantasy team.
Mm-hmm.
But this last game, he didn't play him. He had him sit. Well, the kid had the career game. So you have this guy on your team, but you benched him, and he has a career game. So who was the winner there? The house, right? So it's really kind of funny. And so you can't predict that kind of stuff. And it used to be illegal to bet on sport. The only place you could bet on sports was Vegas. And then they really have, Pete Rose got banned from baseball for betting on baseball games. Now, whether you like the man or not, the guy was one of the best baseball players ever. And I mean, his nickname was Charlie Hustle. And they advertise betting and gambling on baseball, on football. You can bet on college games. You can bet. I wouldn't be surprised if you could bet on your local high school. And
you can bet on anything. When the pandemic came, they opened all that up, and I thought that was kind of funny. Depending on where you live, you can go to Vegas and you can bet. But we always had Colorado always had off-track betting, and I think
Yes.
at the beginning it was horse races, and then you could do Keno, and they slowly opened things up, and now, I mean, you can go just about anywhere and run the games from the bar. So
Right. Right. Yeah, and I'm
it's
not
just
sure how legal some of that stuff is. I know we have a track here that a horse racing track, and so they have the off track betting. They have horse racing going year round. But somebody was telling me they have live poker games and stuff like that too. And
yeah,
I you know, that just slays me. And people think they're they watch that. There was a TV program that had all these poker games,
yeah, oh yeah,
and
yeah,
you know and everybody thinks, well, I would have folded, or I would have done this, or I would, and they're thinking, so I must be smarter than that guy. But that guy's sitting there and he put $1 million to get into the game. Do you have $1 million that you can afford to lose? And I have a good friend here who made a living as a professional gambler, but I know he didn't go in there with anything more than what he could afford to lose.
right. And that's the thing. And then, one of the big winners on Jeopardy was a
Right.
professional gambler.
Yeah.
There are people that can do that. I'm not saying anything for or against gambling or any of these ways that people are investing money. Just be smart about
Right.
what's your goal. If your goal
Right.
is to get your retirement, to buy, pay off your house, and you think it's going to happen without the interference of anything else, that's not a good plan.
Right. No, not at all. Not at all.
And budget for the money that you set aside for that, and don't go over,
Right. Right.
because all of those things can be very addictive
Yep. And very volatile.
and very volatile.
Yep.
And you don't want to be ruining relationships. You don't want to lose your stability because you were not paying attention.
Right. Right.
And
And
that's for any of those things with that Publishers Clearinghouse thing. If I were someone not very savvy and I called that person back and it ends up being a scam, but I think it's real, they can get a lot of information out of
Oh,
me.
yeah.
And it wouldn't just be that I didn't actually win the money, but if I'm not paying attention, they get access to my account, my
Yep.
bank account, and then all my money is gone. So I don't even just not win, but
Right.
now I've lost my savings and my livelihood.
Right.
So we need to remember that, yes, people win the big lotteries.
Hmm.
And if they don't have good advice when they win, I can guarantee you most of them within 2 to 3 years are broke again.
Yep. They are. I don't know what the numbers are, but it's phenomenally high. My wife and I have talked about it whenever the big one comes
Yeah.
around, right? We talk about it, and what would you do? And we have our ideas and stuff like that. But the first two things: number one, hire a good attorney.
Uh-huh.
Number two, hire a financial advisor that you trust.
Yes.
You know,
Most
and
definitely.
so, but if you want to make your fortune gambling, or make your fortune in multi-level marketing, or any type of pie in the sky type things like that, remember, you really got to put the work in. If you're going to be a professional gambler, you need to move to Vegas and work the tables there, and make sure that every penny that you put in is penny that you can afford to lose. So, Linda, I think our title is our advice for today.
Don't bet on it.
Don't bet on it. This has been
Don't bet the
Sam
house
McEwen.
on it, but
Yeah, right. This has been Sam McEwen along with Linda Wilson on Balancing Act. Live intentionally. Be very, very blessed, my friends. We'll see you later.
see y'all soon.